These are 10 reasons that saving money is hard for you. They were hard for me, and I want to help. My name's John, and I started with $200 to my name, and I was living in a house with 6 dudes, and now I have over $10K, which is a goal that most people want to get to. I paid off $20,000 of debt. I saved $15,000 in a few months, and I want to show you why saving money was hard for me. Hopefully you resonate with it, and I can help you out. Starting with number 1, buying things that I didn't need. Here's a huge example that most people deal with. It's eating out. Every time I ate out, I felt a part of my soul leave my body a little bit. I really hated doing it all the time, but I was just too lazy to do meal prep every week. But the pain of losing money every time I ate out just wasn't worth it to me at that point. It wasn't big enough for me to quit that habit. And so when I cut those trips out of my life, I actually found that I saved over $150 a month instantly. And when I cut out everything else that I didn't need, I saved over $500 a month minimum. So if you're in your 20s and you want to know all the other money saving strategies that I have, check the link in the description for the free online community, or just watch the rest of this video. I'm going to share with you the one solution to all these problems that took me from $200 to $15,000 in savings, and why that I don't even look at prices anymore. I'll share that with you in just a bit. But before we get to that solution, here's number 2. Number 2 reason for why it is hard to save money is impulse buying. So when I was a wee lad, young John had this habit of buying whatever in the world he wanted, whenever he wanted. I would buy nice shirts I saw online, nice shoes, iPods, video games, whatever I wanted. And I looked at my bank account one day and I saw all these transactions that were just leaving my bank account. All these reds, all these minuses, all these impulse buys leaving my bank account over the past year. And I did the only reasonable thing that someone would do. I went into my room and I cried because I don't use any of it today. So I recently did the math, and being conservative, that was at least $300 of impulse buys I just did not need to spend. And it was countless hours of shopping that I will never get back either. Reason number 3 is a high cost of living. We already talked about eating out without a plan, but streaming subscriptions, name brand products, treat yourself days, these are all things that I use my money for that made my expenses greater than my income. And that's why I was broke. So here's the budgeting equation to show you why I was broke. Budgeting equals income minus expenses. But this only works if the result is a positive number. So since my expenses were greater than my income, that was a negative number. Whoa. And that's not budgeting. All that I had to do was trim down my cost of living, and I finally learned to budget and save money month after month. Number 4 is recurring expenses. I had a lot of expenses that came month after month that keep draining my bank account. But if I simply looked at my bank account, I would have saved hundreds every year just simply by paying attention to it. And these aren't one-off impulse buys. These are things that I would see month after month, pushing my future further away from me. So what did I do? I cut back on everything that I didn't need. I looked at the last 30 days in my bank account, and I wrote down everything that I was spending money on. Everything that went in and everything that went out. And then I cut my expenses in half. But I stopped looking at the prices of what I bought. And I'll tell you why in a second, but this next point is very important. Young John was that kid that watched every Apple launch event and new technology review on YouTube. I was obsessed with nice cars, nice phones, but while I was busy buying things, I didn't understand this one important thing. What I didn't know was that no one really cared about the stuff I had. Not as much as me. No one really cared at all. I still had to deal with my own insecurities about feeling poor. Materialism. Not worth it. I'm on a mission to help 100,000 people defeat the materialism monster. You want to join? Listen to these next reasons, you'll be able to fight it with me. Number 6 is limiting beliefs. I believe that mindset is everything within the laws of physics and the laws of the universe. If you believe that something is possible, you'll find a way to make it happen. But young John had a very different mindset. He had a limiting belief that he needed stuff to make him happy. But he really was just alone. He needed friends. He didn't spend time with anyone, and he played video games all the time. He just needed to stop playing video games, spend time with people, get out of the house, get some vitamin D. And then that's at the point when I started learning about self-improvement, and everything changed once my limiting beliefs went away. The number 7 reason why I couldn't save money was because I was living like everyone else. So I changed my limiting beliefs, but once I had friends and vitamin D, I started living just like them, and I fell back into old habits. Eating out again, spending money on things that I didn't need but made me feel like I was an adult. I started living like everyone else was, instead of what I knew that I wanted my life to be. It was costing me big time, and I needed to be different than my peers if I wanted to succeed. They went in their own way, totally fine for them, but I wanted to pave a different path. So I had to choose a path that I didn't like, a path of sacrifice. But it saved me thousands since then. Number 8, I didn't have a plan. So fast forward to the recent past, I ended up crashing at a friend's house with no job and no money, and I actually had $200 to my name, couldn't buy food. No joke, it was rough. And it was then that I knew that something was wrong, that I needed a plan of attack. But where would I start? So I started at the end. I took my end goal and I worked backwards to where I was. I figured out what I needed to do daily to reach it. And fast forward to today, I crushed my original goal of getting $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 saved, and I made a new one, a much higher one. And I'm still sticking to that plan of how to invest my money. Reason number 9 is that I was investing in the wrong thing. I really tried to invest in the S&P 500, but I didn't know what I was doing. And I kept trying to fill the void with mindless YouTube videos that got me investing nowhere fast. And stuff. I bought stuff. When I couldn't get investing to work, I turned to my old friend, the materialism monster, and its sidekick, entertainment. These are the things that did not help my bank account or my self-development. These are the things that stopped me from winning, stopped me from getting to success. And nothing I invested in helped me. So, what was young Johnny to do? He was lost until he found the world of self-improvement. Investing my time and my money into personal growth was the biggest game changer of all, and it has paid off in greater gains than the S&P 500 could ever give me. But what the S&P 500 and investing in personal growth have in common is the time horizon that it takes to pay dividends off. And that brings me to number 10, short-term thinking. The long game is always the winning game. You've heard people talk about delayed gratification. Work hard now, you'll get the payoff later. Do your work before it's needed, and your reward will come when the time is right. And these people are right. I could take the $45,000 a year job now, where I'm working in a field that I don't see myself going into long term, but what would I learn from that? What would I get out of that other than a quick paycheck? Especially in an environment where there's no one to teach me what I need to know to truly be successful. I'd rather take the job that pays less now, but pays off in the long run. The one that pays off with knowledge that compounds on itself. I'm trying to build a skyscraper. I'm not trying to build a one-story house. So I got to start with a great foundation. I'm thinking long-term, not short-term. The foundation of a skyscraper needs time to build it right, or it'll come crashing down. But then once you have the foundation built, you can build it level by level, and it will not fall. Now here's the one thing that took me from $200 all the way to $15,000 plus. This is the solution that you've been looking for, that I was looking for, that hopefully can help you. The solution is just looking at my bank account. But that's not a step-by-step plan, John. Well, I made it simpler for you. Congrats. Let me explain. It might seem simple, but this one action, every day, helped change my life. People say change my life a lot, but when your life is changed, it is completely different. It is not the same. It is changed. You are a different person. So once I started paying attention to my bank account, everything changed. I changed. I even made a game of seeing how high I can make the number go, rather than how small I can make it, and still scrape by. And all I did was when I woke up in the morning, I would thank God for another day, but then check my bank account before I did anything else. This made it top of mind for me, so that all my choices throughout the day would be focused on how I could use my money better, as if God were watching every time I bought something. Now, if you need solutions like this in your life, just check the link in the description and get my new free course I just released like 4 days ago. We've already got 3 modules out. They're coming out every 48 hours, and it's compact and dense and life-changing stuff. It's everything that I learned, and I've gathered it together for you, all for free, because I just want to help people defeat the materialism monster. So I'll see you inside the course.